Tim Team is like the next step of the leadership development program at New Life Ranch. It's really about like learning how to lead others well, like through your own actions, leading those around you and like being a good example.
I learned that as much as I think that I couldn't do everything by myself. I always need the help from others, and I always need somebody to give me that extra inspiration or that extra push to get me going.
Team building for us is like a really great way to like get connected, become like an actual body of Christ, like we are together. And so like growing closer to each other is like so much more easy when like we work together in like a challenge and like to complete it.
I saw God throughout pretty much everything in nature there. Since we went to the Ouachitas, you could see Him through everything there, like the massive amounts of trees, the huge mountains, even the fireflies at night were amazing, and you could just see Him through everything in nature.
One thing about Christ that I learned this week is that he doesn't need to move in the largest, most awe-inspiring ways. He can show you where He is through small things like roses on a bush or the way rocks are placed in a creek.
So Tim Team is the second step of New Life's leadership development program. It's a 2-week program this summer, and it is a lot of team building and learning how to communicate well, leading into a 5-day, 4-night backpacking trip in the Ouachita Mountains. And one thing that's really stressed throughout the Tim Team program is this idea of personal responsibility. And like the Tim Teamers learning how to take responsibility for their leadership of others and leading themselves.
Yeah, day 1, we ran out of Aqua Mira.
I think a big thing I want my Tim Teamers to take away from Tim Team is just having complete dependence on the Lord. Tim Team allows them to be put in a bunch of uncomfortable situations that a lot of them are not used to. And so there's a lot of dependence that happens that a lot of them have never experienced. If that's hiking 22 miles in the Ouachita Mountains or leading their friends in purifying water and cooking over a fire. But in that, they have to depend completely on the Lord and also on each other to just complete the task.
One lesson I learned from the hike is that it's gonna get hard, like times are gonna get hard, but you just gotta push through it. You gotta persevere. You gotta just focus on your goal and keep going.
During these past 2 weeks, I saw God a lot in our group, especially towards the end of our hike. When we all got to the top of the mountain, it was like looking over all the hills that we just conquered, and it was just like God was like, you did it. Like He plans out all this great stuff for us, and a lot of times we don't even realize it, and it was just one of those moments where you look at it and you're like, wow.